You're welcome to SaharaTV.
Thank you very much. I'm delighted. It is historical, and I think it will be eventful. Yeah, first and foremost, it took me back to many years ago when I was a youth. What I definitely aspired to, it took a process. Me coaching, playing the youth, coaching in the youth, and have to coach the national team, the longest serving for 17 years in the history of Nigeria. Having to have groomed players who are I see today as coaches in the national teams, and taking me to the process of going through the technical department as technical director, taking me through as General Secretary, CEO of the Nigerian Football Federation, then take me through the sports ministry and going to retirement, and taking me again afar, what do I want to be after retirement? And I don't mind is the devil's workshop. And I've always aspired to be in the publishing and consultancy services. Now that's what I do, and I'm an official FIFA match agent as well. And I run an NGO called Youth Nigeria, which means Youth Initiative for Empowerment and Transparency in Leadership. The slogan is Youth Nigeria. I'm not in politics, but I believe we will never go apart. Okay. Like I told you, the issue is certain passive minds believe we should go apart for many reasons. You can always disagree. Eventually, you agree. That's why I say the common thing that brings people who disagree together is corruption. First and foremost, I think I'll relate it to the issue of telling you very clear and telling the world through your medium, your wide medium, that I was only in charge. The coach, everybody in Nigerian coaches, the reaction of people during training and pre-training programs puts you right. So I wouldn't tell you that I knew I was going to win, but I knew I had a preparation that would take through a process and would get to the promised land. And I did my best. I'm not a witch, I'm not a suicide that knew what was going to happen, but I knew I was going somewhere. And I won't say I was there, but the World Cup came back to Nigeria. Yeah, the under-20 in 1995, and after then the under-17 again Meridian Cup in Lisbon, Portugal, that I won for the first time in Africa. That was the media edition. And I was the coach to the Super Eagles in 1998. I went to Hong Kong in late 97. I won the invitational tournament in Hong Kong, Casper Cup. Then went through France. Eventually, Bora joined me, and we prosecuted France 98 together.
So you were the coach when Bora was the technical
advisor? I was
advisor.
The chief coach, he was technical advisor.
Wow. So you had trained virtually all the Eagles, from the Eaglets to the Eagles.
No, yeah, I've done a lot. Yes. I've done a lot.
Yeah. Would you say after 1993 that your coaching career didn't actually give you the same kind of visibility you had in 1993? It didn't seem like you won anything after that.
Yeah, you see, in the course of there are coaches who are of higher caliber than any other person. You don't have to win a trophy. It's a process. In the process, if you win, good. If you don't win, you just take it. The most important thing is to have a record that is interesting and a coaching career that was interesting, and I had it.
But you know that Nigerians don't want to hear that. So they want you to win. If you don't win, they discard you the next day after the competition.
Yeah, it is our opinion. That's why I told you. Somebody might be in charge, but everybody coaches in Nigeria. Yeah, I won the World Cup 93, and 1995 was not too pleasant to me. Luckily, Chief Sholalos was part and parcel of that history when he was then the chairman National Sports Commission. Yeah. If you ask the question, we won 93 with a gallant standard, and 95 we came out third. Reaction was so negative. But you ask yourself again, the players that implemented the World Cup with 1993, how many were in the 1995 squad in the Nations Cup? The issue was, we have qualified. We are hosting the World Cup. Use the home-based players, and let's see what will prosecute the World Cup with the main team players. You know, I know, that if we have played the players that won the World Cup in 93, Celestine Bayero, Rumans, and others that were playing in Europe then that were so tough, would have been a spinner one for us in the Nations Cup. But I did advise that it was suicidal. And everybody said, use the league players. And the likes of Harrison, Dukudi were the best league players then. I played them. You saw the result. And the reaction was so negative. We thank God it came to pass, but that's why it comes to mind when you see coaches like Sam Siasia who do go very contrary with the authorities, who wants to do what he wants to do because he wants it right. But he can get out with it. I couldn't because I was a civil servant. I was in the system. So the issue...
You were an employee?
Yeah, of the National Sports Commission.
Oh, okay.
I was deployed to the Nigerian Football Association then. So I won't say it was a bad time. We became third and we didn't participate for the World Cup finals because of the withdrawal of the hosting right by FIFA. But we thank God for everything. There's always a good time and a bad time to everything. But I am satisfied and I thank God. I was around.
Were you there?
Yeah, I was around. I won the World Cup. I became a queen, the god for everybody. I was around. You know what happened? There were crises about 3 days to that game. The issue of one has to, the issue of the coach insisting that the camp was being infiltrated by non-players. And they weren't observing his camp rules and regulations.
Who was the coach then?
Clement Westerhoff, which any other coach would have reacted to. So in a nutshell, the reaction was so thick, and before the government came into it, it went out of hand. Some players were in the previous hotel, some went to the next hotel, and went to the game in disarray. You saw the result, how it came about.
So this was players' discipline?
No, it's not indiscipline. The coach insisted that the association must change the hotel. And they said, no, we have paid so much for this hotel for us to stay. So the coach had his mind, he said, no, we're going to leave, and he left with the players.
So that was part of why you thought
the unity wasn't there, yeah? Now, first and foremost, my name's Ambassador Fanny Amu M-O-N without E-Y. And people call me Abacha and I stick by it. If you say Fanny Abacha, I stick by it. I'm a complete loyalist. I don't adulterate my loyalty to people. I've known General Abacha when I was so small like a rat. He was a major. All true. So all true is ranks and postings. I was always by him. Not only me, anybody in sports. He was an hockey player. Useful, he was useful was him. So if you say one was close to one person, there's nothing wrong with it. There are people who you are close to. But my allegiance still goes for Abacha till death. In a country, there's a leader. Yeah. In a leader, there's a country. So you can't separate the both. I was in government. I was not part and parcel of anything. He was just a father to me that I still believe he is even at death. I think people like us, we are very rare. Some people will tell you they're no longer. No, I stand. What I was yesterday with General Sani Abacha, I still am today. What I was yesterday with Major Hamza Al Mustapha, I am still with him till tomorrow, even till death. I cannot speak for him, but I can vouch for him. First and foremost, like I told you, I said my coming here it will be historical, and I think it will be eventful as well. Let me take you back. 2 weeks before the final judgment, there was a story you heard. I wasn't in Nigeria, I was outside Nigeria, and when I read it, trying to preempt the judge, which you knew it was prejudice.
So you mean
no, excuse me.
Yeah,
we'll get there.
Go ahead.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
It's an opinion.
It wasn't an opinion.
No, look, I think there's a choice. You are interviewing me. It's better if you relax. Let me give you the information I believe I have.
Okay, go ahead.
It was an opinion of yours.
It wasn't.
It was an opinion of yours. No, you said it's not your opinion.
I'm just saying I disagree with you.
No, I said I insist.
You are saying that's your own opinion.
No. I said it was opinion of yours, and it's my opinion towards reacting to such.
Okay.
I ask you, see, life was involved, whether you like it or not. I want to say because Major Al-Mustapha has been set free by the judgment of the court, then one is happy or one is sad. Life was involved. One was hurt. And since life was involved, but again, take it back for us to go again. When he was convicted to death, it was celebrated. When it was as well released, it was as well celebrated. But I tell you, along the line, the judgment of the upper court have shown that there was no issue. It was just a stall of the process of the judiciary. It was stalled.
What do you mean by a stall? I don't understand.
The judgment of the upper court has spelled it all. Read the dictate from the one to the last. They went through, had an overview about all the judgment, and they passed that judgment, which I think the state is still trying to
they've appealed it to
appeal
the Supreme
against
Court.
that judgment. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yes.
We appeal against their judgment, the judgment that favored them, and they appeal against our judgment. There's nothing wrong with it.
Okay.
But eventually, the Supreme Court becomes supreme. But what I'm trying to say is that the person who would have been more capable to speak for himself would have been Hamza.
Yeah.
But because of the presence of the court and his prejudice, his hands are tied to the back. Like I said, I cannot speak for him, but I can vouch for him.
We actually tried. We reached out to him and he never responded.
He cannot respond.
Why
But
not?
I'm saying I can vouch for him. The stages of the process of law, as at today, shows that it was only stalled. The process was being stalled. There was nothing in the whole issue. I've now been arrested for once.
So you were not arrested?
I was invited
Okay.
by the authorities, and in the wisdom of the authority, I was asked to go. No paper given to me for invitation. No paper given to me for being discharged or to be asked to
You
go.
didn't spend a night in jail?
We are one family where I was in a place where
So
I was kept, but
so
not in jail.
You were kept somewhere
Of course.
by the authorities. For how long were you kept away?
Well, I was invited several times. I was tried for an alleged coup, which you know.
Yeah.
But you asked me, do I have any license for any gun? But like I told you, those were just part and parcel of stalling the process of that same issue.
So you felt like you were just corralled into that trial just so that they can stall Al-Mustapha's process of freedom. That's what
There were a lot of things involved.
Tell us.
No, but you know,
No, you
alleged coup,
okay.
purported coup, and so on and so forth. You didn't see me take anybody to court. There's nothing wrong in asking me, what is your opinion about A, B, C, and D? It's a nation. It's a security issue. And like I said, I was invited by the authorities, and in the wisdom of the authorities, I was asked to go. The process of the court, the case is still ongoing because of the appeal by the state. So I cannot go into it, it's prejudice. But what I'm trying to say is that as at now, that we are now,
Yeah.
it has shown that there was no issue at all. People were always stalling the process of the court, of getting
When you say
justice.
there's no issue at all, people who were killed, did they kill themselves? People who were shot dead, like Abiola's wife, Kudirat, was she shot by a ghost?
The matter is in court. So far, so good. The upper court has told us, me and you, and the world, that there was no issue. First and foremost, since most, especially in the past 15 years, I've been too close to him. I'm one of the closest person to him, both in incarceration, all through these problems, and after his release. If you call me his PA, if you call me his SA, if you call me his chief of staff, if you call me his friend, if you call me his enemy, again, I can speak for him since his release. I coordinate all his administrative affairs and all his movements. Nowhere we have gone on our own volition. It has been out of request. People who were there for him at the time of incarceration, that is our culture. We go to them and say, thank you, sir, for what you've done for us. And none of those trips that were funded 1 naira. What I'm trying to say is that there's no budget for it. Not that we intend to go to anywhere. People who said, please come and see us. Those people who prayed for us. People who wished him well. People who stayed with his family. People who were there for him. There's nothing wrong with it. Make it naked.
Yes.
The full transaction.
Of course.
No, it's not naked.
But in this case,
what I read is veil.
Even the argument we are making
what
now.
I read is veil. You're only preempting.
No,
what I read is veil. I'm in the media too.
I understand.
I'm in the media too.
Of course, that's how we
I own a
introduce you
forum
today.
too. No, look, you see, I wouldn't say the way you do yours it's not good. No, you know how you pick your tent.
Yes.
I prefer to do investigation journalism. What I'm not convinced about, I'm not going to aid.
Yeah.
It's my choice. Your choice. I'm not saying what you reported was wrong. No. I said the same way you celebrated the preempting of the court, celebrate the judgment of the upper court.
We needed to inform the public about what was going on the undercurrent.
What
That's what
you
the
felt was going on.
Not what we felt, what we knew was going on. And that was how we were able to accurately predict.
So what went on against the judgment, the first judgment they had? Did anything go wrong?
Of course.
The judgment of January 12th.
Yes.
January 10th, 2012. Was there anything that went wrong behind the bar? Because you know how judges are bribed.
Of course.
What went wrong?
We have reported the judgment.
No, I didn't see that. The judgment where he was condemned to death.
Yes.
Did you report it maybe like a week to, like you did in this last one?
Of course, we have no reason to report, but we have been reporting all the other currents because we had no information. And you say you are a journalist too, you are in publishing.
Yeah.
So if you had anything contrary, did you report?
Which one?
The one in lower court.
We reported everything. We did it word to word. It's there on the website, word to word.
Word to word before the judgment?
No, after the judgment. How can I preempt the court?
So that's what I'm saying.
You preempt court because you have information.
Exactly.
I wouldn't doubt your source of information.
Yes, absolutely.
But I said the information was not too tight. Make it veil, publish it. If there's an account, there's nobody that can carry cash. If you knew there was cash carry, put it on the air.
Oh, of course. You are saying that in every bribery that has taken place, a bank account was used.
So what happened?
In the world.
People were used?
People were used. You know how guys carry physical cash in Nigeria to people, in dollars, in trunks of cash. In Ghana must go back.
You are aware, I'm not aware.
Well, you are not aware because maybe your journalism doesn't offend. Ours is not afraid to do so.
I love that.
Yes.
I'm not.
No, no. So your business is separate from...
There's no business. I have an issue with him. Let me help you very fast.
Okay.
First and foremost, if you even ask now those who went for him, who labored for him, who were out for him, there was a time in point where if you measure Mustapha, everybody would run away. But we stood. There was a time you measure, they ask you, you are Hamza. You say yes. You say, are you related to Mustapha? They say no, not that Mustapha, no. I'm from Ilorin or wherever. But we stood for him. Even now, people now who have similar names, they agree. When you say, are you Hamza? I say yes. Now in Papa and Mama Papa, they're related. That is Nigeria for you. But what I'm trying to say is that people say front. Front what? My businesses are open. There are CSC registrations. If there's any link to him, please. My transactions are very open. When I was invited by the authorities, I quoted all my bank accounts and they went into it. And nothing. Okay. So if there was anything funny, he would have seen it. Anything that goes against the law of Nigeria, I will never do it. Yeah. I'm not lawless. I love Nigeria. Mandela was tried for a short while and stayed in jail for 27 years. Mustapha was tried for 15 years. 15 years. So was kept away. According to the judgment, he said it was just to keep him out of circulation. So investigate that.
So you are comparing Mustapha with Mandela?
15 years.
I'm just asking.
15 years. It's not me to compare. No, it's an opinion. Okay. Tried for 15 years. Mandela wasn't tried for 15 years. Mandela went through incarceration for 27 years. This one went to trial for 15 years. 15 years.
Ambassador Fanny Amu, Jonathan, Abacha.
I don't have any problem. Mustapha.
Thank you for coming on.
Then you can even say Showore too.
We haven't gotten there yet.
No, we've gotten there.